But the marks made him stand out even more. Despite his quiet nature, Bassey became the target of bullies who didn't understand him. He had no friends, no one to talk to except his parents. Every day, he wished for a normal life, but his reality was far from it. Still, his parents' love gave him strength, and he vowed to carry the burden of his curse as best as he could. Little did he know his life was about to change in ways he could never imagine. High school was a challenge for Bassey. Most of his classmates avoided him, and some openly mocked him. The marks he wore every day became the subject of cruel jokes, but the worst of them all was Henry, a boy who seemed to enjoy making Bassey's life miserable. "Hey, Max boy," Henry would sneer in the hallways. "What are you hiding under there? Are you some kind of monster?" Bassey tried to ignore him, but the taunts cut deep. He wanted so badly to be normal, to make friends, but the fear of hurting others kept him isolated. His only solace was in his books and the quiet moments he spent in the school library. One day, during lunch, Henry and his friends cornered Bassey near the cafeteria. "Why don't you just take off the marks?" Henry demanded, his voice dripping with mockery. "What is the worst that could happen?" Bassey's hands tightened into fists, but he said nothing. He knew the truth. If he removed the marks, the consequences would be catastrophic. But how could he explain to the people who did not believe in curses? That evening, Bassey sat in his room, staring at the marks in the mirror. "Why me?" he whispered. The weight of his loneliness felt unbearable, yet he resolved to endure. He couldn't risk anyone else suffering because of him. His parents tried to comfort him. "You are stronger than you think, Bassey," his father said. "One day, people will see the real you and understand your heart." Bassey nodded, but doubt lingered in his mind. Could anyone truly look past the marks and see him for who he was? For now, he would keep his head down and hope for the best. Henry's bullying escalated over time. He seemed to enjoy pushing Bassey to his limits, testing how far he could go. One afternoon, during gym class, Henry purposely tripped Bassey, causing him to fall hard onto the ground. The other student laughed, but Bassey stayed silent. He picked himself up and walked away, refusing to give Henry the satisfaction of a reaction. But inside, he felt like a volcano ready to erupt. Henry wasn't satisfied. "What's wrong, Max boy?"